Hellsing Ultimate, one of, if not my favorite anime of all time, and one of my favorite shows of all time. Is with the series, if you haven't watched it, by the way, go do it immediately. It's fantastic. I would absolutely 11 out of 10 recommend it. About the series, there's a lot of pretty valid debate over who's the strongest. The way I see it, there are options really. Walter, because he has his wires, which are, ridiculous. The captain, because he's nigh indestructible and ridiculously strong. Anderson with the Nail of Helena, because, I mean, we see how that worked out. And Alucard, obviously, counting all his forms. And the thing is, you could really make a case for any of them if you want to, is the thing. You could definitely make a case for any of those characters being the strongest, but I'm going to try to answer today which one I truly believe is objectively the strongest character. Now, if you think it's just Alucard, hands down, obviously, well, we'll see. If there was a blatantly obvious answer, well, I wouldn't be making this video. So, let's start with Walter. Walter is definitely not, because the rules of power scaling is that if a character can beat another character, then the character below them is weaker, right? Walter cannot beat the captain if the captain is putting effort in. His wires literally cannot hurt the captain. We saw that in Hellsing. I believe it was at episode 4 or 5, I think, where he just caught them midair. Which the speed and durability of that to catch his wires is ridiculous. And also in the Dawn, if you've ever watched the Dawn, Walter was trying to behead the captain with his wires, and I mean, it could made him bleed, but he was still choking the life out of him, and that came out wrong. But I'm going to continue. And you could say that that would be different with not Alucard, sorry, with Walter being a vampire later on. I don't agree because when you get right down to it, I think that just enhanced like his reflexes and like durability because I don't think Walter being a vampire would amplify the actual strength of his wires themselves, which yeah, so I don't. Yeah, Walter's definitely not. He's definitely at the lowest of the four of these. So we're left with Alucard, the captain, and Nail of God Anderson. Let's go with Anderson next. So he is probably the fastest regenerator in the series. Not the fact that he's literally called a regenerator. The fact that when he appears by the Nail of God, he regenerates so fast that Alucard can like actually almost not keep up with him. I would say they're regenerating at about the same speed, which Alucard is infamous for regenerating at an unheard of rate, so that's really saying something. Now, there's one big, big, big problem. That's the fact that Anderson cannot face Alucard or the captain, I would say, personally. Although they never fight, I would just say personally, without the Nail of God. We see that, Anderson and Alucard battle several times, and he absolutely cannot beat Alucard if he does not have the Nail of God. And thing is, he can kind of just pull his heart out, literally. And if you do that, it's completely exposed. Is like the nail is poking out of his chest. And I mean, honestly, if Alucard could have removed Anderson's heart and crushed it, um, and that wouldn't have done it. Like if Anderson would have still persisted, Anderson might have beaten Alucard. Call me crazy, but I think he might have. Because I mean, like he was destroying all his familiars. He was regenerating at pretty much the same rate. He had all the vines going everywhere, and and all the holy power, which works great against vampires. But it's just the fact that his big weakness is that you can just take the nail out, and then he's just dust. He just pulled an Infinity War and just turned into mush, and then that mush turned into dust. And hey, technically, Walter. Walter technically killed not the captain. Walter technically killed Anderson by stepping on his head. You need to write down to it. Technically, he wasn't quite dead. He wasn't quite dead. He was still talking. Uh, but yeah, no. There's if he didn't have the weakness of being able to be pulled out, and that removes all his power and kills him in the process, then I would say he stands more of a chance. But no, Anderson cannot do it. So I would say it's definitely between Alucard and the captain. These are hands down, in my opinion, the strongest characters in the series. Let's start with the captain. So, a lot of people kind of say that like Alucard is the strongest. I don't agree. If I'm going to be completely honest, I believe that the captain is by far the physically strongest and most durable and fastest character in the series because he cannot be cut by Walter's wires. That's a really big thing to consider. Because I mean, Walter was trying, especially in the Dawn in particular, Walter was fighting for his life, trying to cut the captain's head off with his wires as he was choking him to death, and he couldn't do anything. Like, he couldn't even slow him down. And we've seen that Walter's wires can cut through literally anything except the captain. The captain's flesh is the only thing in the entire series that Walter's wires cannot cut through. Everything else is like butter. Alucard, buildings, helicopters, literally anything. But no, the captain is just he's just built different. Now, that's the durability. He has by far no debate. Absolutely no debate. The fact that he survived Walter's wires, sure they made him bleed, but the fact that they can't cut through him at all, that seals the deal that the captain has the strongest durability in Hellsing Ultimate. I will not accept debate to that. The thing is, he doesn't just have that. He has speed and strength too. Because let's see, he can kick away a bomb with like minimal effort, shove a steel beam that probably weighed like 15,000 tons to his side with just like a little tap. Um, he can literally kick Alucard in half. I mean, he's pretty strong. Um, he dropped straight from the Zeppelin onto the London battlefield. Just like he just yeeted himself down. No parachute, no anything. He just literally threw himself down, and he was just there for just fine, ready to fight. And like he's got immunity to fall damage. Um, and I mean, then we got the speed. The main thing I would cite for this is right after he gives Heinkel the med kit, we see him like almost fly away, but I'm pretty sure what he's doing is like jumping really fast and then like bouncing off buildings, like what you do in a pool where you like latch onto the side and then kick yourself away, kind of like that, I think. And is he moving at the speed of light there? Because it almost looks like it. He's just like a blue line, which is like that shouldn't even be possible reasonably, but he's doing it for some reason. For some reason, he's able to do that. It's like, why are werewolves so powerful? And I mean that's because also the captain has very very few feats, as we all know. He has one proper battle, which is kind of hardly a battle for that matter. Um, but like that is to the speed. I don't think Alucard could go that fast. I really don't. I mean, did we ever see Alucard move so fast that he's literally just a line of light? And um, and I mean, then we got the fact that like, for God's sake, man, on top of all that, he's a werewolf, which gives him so many other things because he can turn into a werewolf, which seems to amplify just like all of his abilities with like strength and everything. He can literally turn into a ghost, pretty much like mist, and become completely intangible, which I'm gonna touch on later. Don't worry, because I know what all of you are thinking. I know what all of you are thinking. Don't think I don't. I'm gonna get to that. And I mean, he can turn into a like just intangible ghost air stuff, and he also has like the balance and precision of a god, because I mean, he literally stands on top of like the little spike of Cersei's shadows things, And just like as the money and stuff is falling all around him, just like standing on top of it. And I mean, I don't know how or why he can do that. We don't know anything about the captain. I just he's really cool. Can we all agree that the captain is the coolest character in the series? Can we agree on that? Because I think so. Um, but you see, I know what all of you were thinking. He has a weakness to silver. Right? Wrong. Well, yes, he does. He absolutely does. Yes, he can be killed by silver. We saw that firsthand. But there's something very, very important to consider here. He can turn into mist, where you literally cannot touch him, like at all. So, I mean, I don't know what you want to do. Whether you have a silver bullet or not, you literally can't touch him if he just doesn't want to. Because, like, imagine if you were fighting against the captain and he wasn't holding back. Because he could have killed Saris with such minimal effort that would have been ridiculous. But he just wanted to die. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing with everyone in Millennium, well, except the Doctor. Um, the captain, the only reason he ever died is because he wanted to. Because if he wanted to, he could live forever and no one could ever kill him. Because he could just like stay in mist form, and if any, and keep popping in and out of it, and he has the reflexes to like if anyone tries to sneak attack, he has the reflexes as we've seen to dodge pretty much anything. Oh yeah, and remember the dawn where Walter threw I believe it was a table knife at the major across the table, and the captain caught it when it was like moving at like Mach 7. And also the fact that that shows such a level of trust that the major has for the captain to guard his life against anything. Because like the major, he didn't flinch. He was like, "Well, you're throwing a knife at me. Well, I got this werewolf bodyguard man. I don't know how you're getting anything past him." He's like, and the major, he has a good sense of everything that's going on at all times. So I think the fact that he trusted the captain so much to shield him from any threat is more than enough. And yeah, he has the silver weakness, but he can turn into a ghost. And also, it's debatable as to whether or not you can pierce him with silver at all. Like, because the thing is, like, also, I know a bunch of other people are also gonna say that Saris was able to punch off his arms. No, 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 no. He was holding back. He was holding back a lot. I mean, it goes without saying that he was holding back in his fight against Saris, but I mean, because we saw how durable he is. Walter's wires cannot cut through him at all. They can make him bleed a tiny bit like he got a paper cut. And you're telling me Saris can punch through him and blow his entire arms off? No, no. He wanted to die, and that's why he let Saris do that. I firmly, absolutely, 100% believe that um, the captain can change his durability at will, and this isn't something that we've never seen in the series before. This isn't just something I'm pulling out of my ass because Walter does the exact same thing with his wires. Walter can seemingly change how lethal his wires are depending on just what he wants to do. The case in point here is in a very, very brief moment in his fight with Jan Valentine, he's seen holding one of his wires in his mouth. And if that's not enough for you, he pulled out Jan's lip ring, and that begs the question: why would it not just cut through the lip ring and like just make it two halves, or just like put a hole through it? No, like he pulls it out, and that means it was definitely like it wasn't like a wire, it wasn't cutting through it. It was like a string just pulling it out like a tooth. Um, which means that he can definitely do that, which I would say would reasonably mean that the captain can do the same because it's like a same universe, same kind of abilities apply to certain characters kind of rule. And yeah, I mean he's just insanely durable, insanely fast, insanely strong. He can turn into mist. He's a werewolf. He has that cool ass coat. God, he's so cool. I'm gonna make another video about the captain. He's my favorite character in the series. Yeah, sure. He's barely a character at all. I mean, it'd be acceptable if you didn't want to even call him a character because he's kind of not, but he's just so cool, man. And let's put him. Okay, so now we've covered all the captain. Let's put him against Alucard. So we're going to be going off level 0 here. So the Alucard at his best. So let's say he's released all of his familiars and he's in his not Dracula form, where he has the sword. He's in his regular red coat form, while all of his familiars are out. So the captain has the hardest time possible fighting him. I still believe the captain would whoop his ass if he wasn't holding back. If the captain had a will to live and more specifically a will to beat Alucard, like if he actually wanted to, he definitely could, without question, if you ask me. Because it's just once again, you basically can't hurt him. He can do such ungodly damage to you and your well-being. He can turn into mist. He can just become intangible. He can he can kick through, punch through anything, let alone the fact that he has his pistols, which, as we saw, are really powerful. Like, despite just being Mausers with long barrels, really powerful. I don't know what kind of bullets he has in that gun, but he has some powerful pistols. And I mean, hear me out. The silver thing, you can turn into mist, man. I don't know. I don't know. You can't really touch him at all with anything. It's like, and even if he isn't in the mist form, I think he can move faster than like the speed of light or something. I don't know. I don't know, man. But honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think the captain is stronger than Alucard. I believe in a one-on-one fight with both trying their hardest and putting everything they have into the fight. I think that the captain would win. So, the captain is the strongest character in Hellsing Ultimate, right? Right? That's how the process of elimination works. Wrong. We're forgetting about a very, 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 very important character. Because you know how Alucard is always saying that true immortals don't exist? How even he can die, even the captain can die, even Anderson can die. You know how he's always saying that? How nobody and nothing can be a true immortal and truly never die? Well, he's wrong. Because we have Schrodinger. Yes, the cat boy, the cat femboy himself, the Nazi Hitler Youth cat femboy himself, Schrodinger, is hands down, without a doubt, the most powerful character in the series. Why? He's a true immortal. That's the only thing you need to know. He can also teleport, pretty much. He can be everywhere if he can just be anywhere if he wants to be, which also helps. But the fact that he literally, truly can't die is yeah, yeah, you can't really beat that because declared that the captain is the strongest character. Well, the captain is still, he can die. Unlike Schrodinger. How I would like to put it is, Schrodinger could come up to you, punch you in the face with his little boy arms, and you could just Alucard would just shoot him in the face after he gets punched a little, and then he's so that's over. But then Schrodinger comes back, punches Alucard in the shin or something again. Alucard shoots him in the face again. And that can go on literally forever if Schrodinger wants to. Because imagine if you got punched imagine if a grown man got punched in the side by like a 5-year-old. That wouldn't hurt, right? That wouldn't hurt. Imagine if that same 5-year-old hit you as many times as time itself would allow for. Like until the end of time. Like if that 5-year-old was indestructible and immortal. Imagine that. Imagine if you can just keep punching you with his little boy arms over and over and over and over and over and over. You you're gonna get hurt eventually, and you're eventually gonna run out of stamina. And eventually, he's gonna punch you enough to be able to reach your heart or brain. And he can pick up a gun if he wants. And he has no risk of dying. He doesn't have to dodge anything. He can also he could teleport inside of you like Ant-Man beating Thanos if he really wants to. There's no reason for me to say that hear me out. Inside of a human being is somewhere, right? The space inside of someone's body, and Schrodinger can be anywhere. So, technically speaking, there is nothing to say that Schrodinger cannot teleport directly inside of someone's body and kill them from the inside, like everyone was saying Ant-Man should do in Infinity War. There's nothing that says that cannot happen, and there's everything that says he can do that. And yes, that's stupid, but he could do it. It's stupid, but if it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid. So, yeah, I mean, I don't like admitting it any more than you like hearing it. I'm sure you don't want to accept that as a fact, but it is. It's a fact. Schrodinger, the cat boy, is more powerful than the king of vampires, a literal werewolf, a man who literally has God on his side, and a butler. And yeah, so that's the video. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you watching. And please subscribe. I would like channel growth because I believe at the time of me making this, I only have 6 subscribers. So if you watch this and you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. I really really appreciate that. And I plan on definitely making more Hellsing videos in the future because I love the series. Like I said at the start, it's maybe my favorite anime of all time, up there with Kill la Kill and JoJo. And yeah, so thank you, and I'll see you later.